Hi, thanks for joining. I'm Tom Hedgeman, and this is A Compass for the Ways Word of the Day live broadcast. Live broadcast. I am the church. And my life is my ministry. Hi, I want to talk a little bit about Jesus' interaction, or rather, Jesus' frustration and irritation with those individuals selling cattle and selling sheep in the marketplace and exchanging money in the marketplace. And he got enraged and upset and overturned the tables and took a whip and got people out of there and was displeased at what was going on in his father's house. And I say enraged and I say upset because that's what happens. It's okay to humanize Jesus. As a matter of fact, he wants us to humanize him and say, hey, I've suffered all the afflictions of mankind. I was man. Understand, I've walked in your shoes. So it's okay to humanize Jesus. It's okay to understand that he got enraged and he was upset with what was going on in his father's temple. But I believe at this time, in that moment of upset and enragement and anger, he got a revelation from God that changed the course of how he would now interact with mankind. As a matter of fact, they said, the Jews said, well, by what authority do you have in doing all this and destroying what we're doing here? And the revelation came when he said, destroy this temple, and in 3 days I'll raise it up. Talking about himself as the temple. And I believe that calmed his spirit because he understood that what he was doing to the building, acting in this enragement, was not helping at all. That was not the message to get across. He was the message. He was the temple. And when he said that, I believe he realized that what I'm doing here, mankind will do to me. He realized that even in this zeal, that's what the disciples saw. They said, the zeal for your house will consume me. And that revelation, I believe, changed his course and gave him a greater understanding of his assignment. It said later on in that chapter, after he performed miracles and people believed on him, he did not entrust himself unto man because he knew what was in mankind, the affliction of mankind, the sin of mankind. And that he would have to still pour out his love on all mankind. David had the same sort of zeal because that's where they got it from. That's what the disciples remembered when Jesus went tossing and turning over the tables in Psalm 69. And David said, I'm a stranger to my own brothers. I'm a stranger to my mother's sons. The zeal for my father's house has consumed me. When people insult my father's house, it's an insult unto me. Throughout history, there have always been movements. There's always been movements of truth, movements of understanding, and movements of growth throughout all mankind. And at that moment, it's never understood. When Jesus said, destroy this temple in 3 days, I'll raise it up. At that moment, it was not understood. It's never understood at the moment. However, during that time, there are people that believe. I wrote a note here. I said, there have been many great moments that at the time it was not understood and not popular. And there were people that believed. Many people with the zeal for God that consumed them. Not everyone walks in that zeal, and they are not supposed to. All they have to do is believe in the message. There are people that walk in this zeal that consumes them, and I want to pray for them. I want to pray for them because there will be a time when there will have to be a pouring out of yourself in the zeal for that message. But let that pouring out be of love. That's what Jesus realized when that zeal began to consume him for his Father's house. He said, I can't pour this out in anger, in frustration. I can't pour it out this way, or it will not be received. By a man say, by what authority you have to do this? It wasn't until Jesus got this revelation and understood, I'm going to have to pour this thing out in love with my body and my blood. Then the world will believe. That's my message for today. Always know that I love you. God bless.